All right, ignore the piece on my nose. So I came to this estimate. I sold them on the stone edging, doing a river rock instead of mulch. I basically said, hey, we like to do river rock instead of mulch because river rock is kind of like a semi-permanent solution, and mulch, it looks good for a few months and then it dries out and it doesn't look good for another 12 months. So 75% of the time you have mulch in your flower bed, it doesn't look good because you only replace it once a year, but it only looks good for a few months. And I was basically saying, hey, stone river rock does not wash out of your flower bed. Mulch does. And then I showed them their neighbor has white river rock. I said, don't do white river rock because if anything gets on top of that, like dirt or decomposed leaves or trimmings from a bush, then on white river rock, it stands out. It looks horrible. So I showed them photos of brown river rock that matched their house. And yeah, so I basically explained to them, see how they have these stone pavers right here? Those stone pavers have little gaps in between them. I was like, hey, see how you're getting all this grass growing in your flower bed? Because at one point he pointed out that he hated the grass growing in the flower bed. So I told him, okay, if you upgrade to like a stone edging, we'll have a 4x4 inch footer underneath with rebar, so it'll prevent the grass from going under the stones, and we'll have mortar in between the stones as well, so that the grass doesn't grow in between. And he was like, okay, I like that idea. And then I showed him photos. So see how it's way lower over here than it is up all the way up there? I was like, you can do it two ways. You can make it the new edging with the concrete footer and the mortar in between the stones. I said you can make it perfectly level, or you can like make it just be level with the ground. And I showed them photos. They liked the edging that was perfectly level. So on this side you'll have like 2 layers tall, and on that side you'll have 1 layer tall. And there's another flower bed right there. And then they said they wanted some plants. I told them, hey, annuals, they look picture perfect until fall, and then you have to replace them next spring. Perennials, they look perfect in the spring. They dry out in the summer and the flowers turn dark or fall off because it gets so hot, but they come back every year. So I explained that to them. They told me they wanted to do perennials. More high-end clients will want to do annuals because they are picture perfect until fall and the sun doesn't dry them out. And then I upsold them on the river rock. I measured, it was about 1.75 yards of river rock. I did the length and width of the flower beds, and it came out to like 180 or 160 square feet. So I bought 1 square foot, or 100 square feet is the same as 1 yard of river rock. We don't buy by the tons. And then I did, we're taking out one of his red yuccas and replacing it with this bush right there. So right there will be another bush to match that bush. And then we're doing liripe edging. Shout out to you, Ed. That's your idea. So we're doing liripe edging around this entire edging. And then, we're doing 3 1-gallon Black-Eyed Susan perennials right there. And then we are doing, right now they already have a 1 lily and they like it a lot. So we're planting 5 more lilies in this flower bed. This flower bed over here, we're not touching the plants except adding liripe, but we are replacing the edging, and then we're hauling off the pavers as well. Basically, the way I did this estimate was I came, talked to him for 15-20 minutes, got husband in. I was like, is your wife here? Is she able to come out and just confirm that she's good with these? Which I kind of pushed to do that. It's kind of an uncomfortable thing to do, but it's the only way you're going to close the job, because he kept mentioning, oh, I don't know what my wife thinks. I don't know what my wife thinks. And so I forced him to basically nicely go get his wife and talk to him for 10 minutes, 15-20 minutes. And then I was like, give me 10 minutes. I'll go in my truck and work up everything, knock on the door, and I have everything. So after that, I took a bunch of pictures, circled where the plants are going to go. I measured the edging, and I called my subcontractor. I said, hey, I'll buy the 1.75 yards of river rock from Rockies in Mansfield. You'll have to pick it up. I'll buy the plants. It's roughly like 9, like 1 or 3 gallon plants and 6 flats. And he understood that. And then I told him, I need you to take these pavers and haul them off, and then do a new 4x4 inch footer with the Oklahoma stone edging with concrete with mortar in between. And then over here it'll be 2 layers. So since it's 50 yards there, about half of it's going to need 2 layers. So yeah, and I basically sold them. The subcontractor charged me $1,900. I sold the job for $4,400. And since everything's designs, and I can call Site One and get the plants ordered and ready for him to pick up on a ticket, I'll never have to come to this project again. And I'll make roughly, and this is the first estimate I've done in like 6 days and I closed it. I'm trying to think. 1900 plus 40 or 4400 minus 1900. Okay, so I have to pay for the plants in the rock are a total of $500 from Site One in Rockies, and then the subcontractor is charging me 1900. He's providing the stone and hauling off the old pavers. So that all in, we're at like 2400. I sold the job for 4400, so that's 2000 profit. If you would have done this exact estimate, the exact way I would have done it, you would have closed it and you would have made like around $400 to $450 in commission, which is exactly 10 to 11% revenue.